Prince Harry and Meghan Markle facing criticism as members of the Invictus Games Foundation reveal a growing frustration with the royal couple.
This is huge. Harry and Meghan are leaving the palace to become financially independent. Last week, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle announced that they're no longer going to be on the family phone plan anymore.
The moment Trevor Noah took aim at Meghan Markle, the television screen became a battlefield.
I think they'll move to LA because Meghan is an actor, right? And then she's going to want to work again. And then Harry can just join the cast of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Yeah. Just be like fighting on TV. I know what you said about me, Diddy. Say it to my face.
What started as a regular late-night comedy bit quickly grew into something way bigger.
I'll just be like, we're really overjoyed to welcome this pure little miracle, the result of our sweaty night of just raw dogging, #blend.
This was not just about laughs anymore. It turned into a full-scale takedown of Meghan's public image, and the audience could feel it.
Anyway, the big question everyone's asking right now is...
The laughter coming out was sharp, awkward, and almost guilty. The kind of sound you make when you realize the cat's being dragged out of the bag right in front of you.
Why would Harry and Meghan want out of a life that so many people dream of having? I mean, think about it. We kiss frogs to try and become royalty.
The humiliation came fast and heavy. Trevor Noah's audience was sometimes left completely speechless because this was no soft, friendly, royal joke. This felt like an unofficial public trial, and Trevor Noah was the one cross-examining. With his outsider's perspective, he didn't circle around the issue, he went straight for the core.
You see, this is what happens when you bring the first black woman into the royal family. Yeah, she looked at Harry and she's like, you need to get a job.
Noah launched his cross-examination not with a gag about a Netflix special, but with a searingly honest observation. Harry and Meghan are leaving the palace to become financially independent.
You need a job. You a grown-ass man. You can't still be living in your mama's house, Harry.
Without any care in the world, Trevor Noah flipped the narrative on its head. He didn't just comment on the couple's desire for financial independence, he framed it as Meghan's direct order to Prince Harry.
But now, everyone is wondering what they'll do to support themselves without any of that royal cash.
Back in their Montecito mansion, it's not hard to imagine the collective gasp. The phone lines between their PR team and the royal couple were likely on fire. This wasn't a comedic roast, this was a complete on-air dissection of a fairy tale.
Damn, Harry and Meghan are losing their titles? That's the most embarrassing royal loss since William's hairline.
The jokes hit hard, reframing the couple not as victims escaping an oppressive establishment, but as overconfident celebrities scrambling for relevance.
What's funny is that no matter what job Prince Harry gets, you realize he's still gonna be Prince Harry, right? Can you imagine being his boss when he screws up? Like, what do you call him in and say? Prince Harry, get in here, your majesty. You blew the Henderson account, my lord. Clean out your desk and may God save the Queen.
Noah took every aspect of their new life, from Harry's potential need to get a job to their loss of royal titles, and turned it into a humiliating punchline, including a particularly memorable dig at Harry's hypothetical boss yelling at him for messing up.
Many people wondered why they would leave an institution with such awesome wealth and prestige. But now, it looks like they've found something almost as good.
The image wasn't just funny, it was humiliating. It was a permanent reframing of their entire brand. It also goes to show that the quest to leave behind their life within the royal family was a fool's errand, as it is so clearly unachievable.
Yo guys, Meghan Markle has completely flipped the royal family on its head.
For years, Meghan had been able to deflect criticism by calling it bitter or bigoted, but here was Noah, a South African immigrant with lived experience, cutting through that shield like a scalpel. He dismantled her public image brick by brick, exposing every contradiction and hypocrisy she tried to cover in her meticulously crafted interviews.
5 years ago, they were like, Meghan Markle is now the Duchess of Sussex and must be addressed as such. Now they're like, Prince Harry is offering 20% off Casper mattresses with promo code BlueBlood2020.
He didn't just poke fun, he took their narrative and flipped it on its head, reframing them not as victims of a cruel establishment, but as two overconfident celebrities scrambling for relevance. The killer moment was a clip of Prince Harry desperately seeking voiceover gigs for his wife from the CEO of Disney.
Okay, wait. Prince Harry really did that?
Even Trevor found his own find unbelievable.
He asked the CEO of Disney to hook his wife up with voiceovers. And I mean, don't get me wrong, on the one hand, husband goals. On the other hand, you gotta admit the monarchy has fallen off.
So, Meghan and Harry would leave the royal family for the spotlight it puts them in, only for them to use that very spotlight to seek opportunities that the common person wouldn't dare dream of. How shocking. So, how low did they go?
You gotta admit the monarchy has fallen off, right? No, because back in the day it used to be like, if you marry my daughter, I'll give you Burgundy. And now it's like, my wife actually does a pretty good Timon. You should hear her. Come on, baby, do the thing. Hakuna Matata, do the thing.
Since Harry himself admitted that Meghan was the one interested in the gig, people are saying it is pretty clear she pushed him into it. And honestly, that is where the embarrassment really hits. She has all the fame and recognition anyone could ask for, yet she still could not lock down her own lane. Instead, she leaned on the same royal shortcut she constantly trashes in public every chance she gets. The irony writes itself.
And I was like, yeah, man, she does. She comes from an unconventional family. Just like Harry, same thing. Come on. It's true, same thing.
And this wasn't even the first time Trevor fired shots at Meghan and Harry. As early as their wedding day, Trevor Noah claimed she and Harry both came from an unconventional family.
Oliver, you have generously offered to keep the wax figures of Harry and Meghan safe while the royal family drama gets worked out.
Yeah, that's correct. And if I may, I would just like to say that I'm definitely not using the wax figures for sex stuff.
I mean, you could hear the audience gasp. The gasps were even louder than the few awkward, "I'm at a comedy show, so I should be laughing" laughs. Given the level of unconventional Harry's family is, one can only guess what he meant by comparing Meghan's to that. Though he was more reserved and somewhat friendlier to the not-so-royal couple that night, largely because it was their wedding day, he couldn't help but squeeze in a few jabs. Once Trevor Noah lit the fuse, every American comedian seemed to smell blood in the water. The dam had broken. Late-night hosts, podcast giants, and sketch shows all lined up to take their shot, and they didn't waste time with polite royal jabs. Conan O'Brien went surreal, using the news of their wax figures being yanked from Madame Tussauds to spin a bit about where they'd end up next. The punchline placed them somewhere far less dignified than any royal palace.
And this is sweet. Meghan Markle said she has a finger they can use if they need it.
And that wasn't the only time he's mocked her. He has thrown a few jabs her way whenever an opportunity presents itself. Meanwhile, Saturday Night Live turned Harry and Meghan into a recurring joke, with Colin coming out and flat out calling her out for her off and on lack of class, like giving people the middle finger.
Most influential man in the world, Time magazine should have been.
No, Meghan Markle beat me.
God.
The most brutal jab came from Joe Rogan, who turned his real-life beef with Harry into a comedy segment, telling how his first reaction to the prince's criticism wasn't anger, but a fleeting moment of reflection, before he proceeded to roast her for always stealing people's thunder. By the time the week was over, Meghan's name had gone from a headline to a punchline in America's biggest comedy outlets. These weren't one-off jokes. They became recurring bits embedded into sketches, monologues, and viral clips. She hadn't just been roasted. She'd been inducted into the permanent roster of celebrity clowns the US loves to mock on a loop. And the mockery didn't end there. Even some notable celebs chimed in, at least they seemed to. One such person is Gwyneth Paltrow, who dropped a very similar video to Meghan's official trailer theme for her new Netflix show, With Love, Meghan. Her little goofing about in the kitchen was largely seen as a direct shot at Meghan's show that was just about to air.
I genuinely do not understand this at all whatsoever. Do you understand this?
What's even more surprising is how fast Meghan responded, by getting herself in a video with Gwyneth saying there is no secret beef.
I watched the Harry and Meghan Netflix documentary.
Now, I'll be honest with you, before I watched it, I was not a fan of theirs. Now I've actually heard their side of the story, I f***ing hate them.
Can you imagine Meghan asking Gwyneth Paltrow if she is beefing with her? That must have been one very weird phone call from Meghan to Gwyneth. But as one keen gossip buff pointed out, there was a book conveniently placed in the background titled The Octopus Eats Its Own Leg, which is by Japanese artist and author Takashi Murakami, and is definitely not a cookbook. If American comedians roasted Meghan with playful jabs, the British comics came armed with bayonets.
Harry and Meghan are the wackest motherfuckers because they really don't realize that people don't care about them. Like, they moved to Montesino, like this is the fancy part of Santa Barbara, right?
These weren't just jokes. They were homegrown takedowns from people who grew up under the shadow of the monarchy and weren't afraid to swing hard. Andrew Schultz didn't waste breath pretending to care. He dismissed Harry and Meghan entirely in a line so cold, it made the crowd gasp before they laughed.
Hey, hold on.
People dress up in costumes like Spider-Man or Jack Sparrow and pose with tourists $1 a photo.
Then came the legendary puppet satire, Spitting Image. Its character assassination with felt and foam was next level.
Maybe I'm just not qualified for anything.
The Meghan puppet was drawn with exaggerated glamour and an ever-present smirk, constantly giving Prince Harry toxic positivity, supporting the most unbecoming of his ideas. Harry's puppet was a clueless man-child so pampered he needed his butler to hand him a TV remote.
I need a lifestyle brand of creams and supplements. Gwyneth Paltrow has Goop, Kourtney Kardashian has Poosh, and Jamie Lee Curtis has Pooger.
The show relentlessly mocked their ventures as late-night infomercial scams and ridiculed Meghan's wellness brand with scenes of her promoting rank smoothies that made the puppets gag.
That's not true. You're a great husband, a good-hearted man. You've got big, muscular teeth.
Thanks, Meg. And I guess now I'm qualified for this. Unemployment!
The genius of Spitting Image was that it could say the things human comedians wouldn't dare, hiding savage social commentary behind absurd visuals that permanently stained the couple's image in the public consciousness.
I'm Janice. I'm Holly. I'm Nora.
After all the professional comedians were done, the internet took over. People on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter started to make fun of Harry and Meghan in their own way. They would take small videos of the couple and turn them into funny memes and clips. The spark was a single awkward moment from Meghan's Netflix series, where she corrected actress Mindy Kaling on her name.
Jack in the Box because my mom loved their tacos.
I don't think anyone in the world knows that Meghan Markle has eaten Jack in the Box and loves it.
It's so funny, too, that you keep saying Meghan Markle. You know I'm Sussex now.
A blink and you miss it exchange that creators slowed down, replayed, and captioned into oblivion. Suddenly, that one clip became a meme about people who act like they are very important, with Meghan's face pasted onto every imaginable scenario. Several fan-made music videos emerged, remixing her interviews into auto-tuned dance tracks. The key difference here was that these weren't professionals with PR to worry about. They were anonymous, global, and relentless.
Welcome to my garden. Well, it's not my garden, it's a set actually, but...
Every new Sussex appearance was raw material, and the couple's narrative was no longer theirs to control. The internet's collective sense of humor was far more vicious than any stand-up stage, turning the roast into a permanent online genre, with Meghan as its unwilling poster child. They also made funny cooking videos that made fun of Meghan's fancy lifestyle. The videos showed a person acting like Meghan in a perfect kitchen, giving silly advice while living in a huge house. This was a simple way to show that she said she was a normal person, but lived a life that was nothing like the life of a normal person. The internet made fun of the couple for their whole story, and unlike TV shows, the internet never stops. beneath the laughs and late-night punchlines, a more dangerous truth was taking shape. Meghan and Harry's entire brand was built on a they say one thing and do another. They said they wanted to live a quiet life and get away from the media, but then they made a TV show about their lives. They said they wanted to be private, but then told their story in a very public way. This is why the jokes will never stop. The humor comes from the fact that they talk about being victims of fame, but then they keep trying to be famous. As long as they keep doing this, the internet will keep making fun of them. You can't control your story when a whole world of comedians and internet users decides your life is a joke. Every heartfelt statement about living a private life was undercut by a new photo shoot, podcast, or book deal. And this is exactly why the roast kept rolling. It was never just about one headline or one messy scandal. The real problem is the giant gap between the story they keep trying to sell and the reality everybody else is watching play out. Once people catch on to that kind of disconnect, every single move turns into fresh material for jokes. And in the social media era, there is no escaping it. The internet does not let contradictions fade away. It grabs them, loops them, captions them, and keeps laughing at them forever. What could have been a moment becomes a permanent meme. Trevor Noah may have fired the first shot, but what followed was an all-out cultural shift, one giant leap away from the adoration of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. Can the Sussexes ever reclaim their story once the world decides it's funnier without them? Drop those hot takes in the comments section below.